It's a really great evening to meet you all for this wonderful Asteroid Day celebration. Okay, so first let me introduce myself. My name is Surendra. I'm a project director at Chiguru Colab. We are based out of Bangalore doing astronomy education, research, and communication in and around India. Yeah. So this is our first Asteroid Day celebration we are conducting from our organization. We welcome you all for this wonderful celebration once again. So we don't want to take your much time. Our speaker is here. We welcome our inaugural speaker and guest for this program, Mr. Rajasekar V, who is a senior scientist at Vikram Sarabhai Space Centre, Indian Space Research Organization, Trivandrum. Yeah, he's with us. He'll discuss about asteroids, meteors, and comets. Sir, it's your time. Yeah, welcome you, sir. Sure, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Leonid Kulik, chief curator of meteorite collection of the Petersburg Museum. Okay, Saint Petersburg. He went to Tunguska to collect any evidence available. But the very harsh conditions of Siberian forest, it literally demotivated the team to reach the area of the blast. They couldn't do. Once again in 1927, he went with a new expedition, and they reached the particular place where the real explosion happened. Okay, so at first the locals were very reluctant to tell Kulik about what really happened and all, what it was and all. And there were some survivors, especially maybe a 10 or 15-year-old man, he'll be just maybe another 20 years older, no? So naturally, they slowly told that it was a blast given by their god, Ogdi. Okay, and they were, because the people, the area and the people are cursed by him, he killed the animals there and he smashed the trees over there. And more experiences of this particular event is explained in this book. Okay, so but what exactly is the Tunguska cosmic body which exploded over there, or was it a bomb put by the opponents? That time the Cold War was going. Was it a comet or an asteroid or something else? People were literally wondering. Okay, and slowly scientists could arrive at. Okay, they immediately correlated there is one beta torrid meteor shower. Okay, this meteor shower happens during this time and also during the December that time also. So naturally, you can see this is the path of a comet. This white ellipse is the path of the comet, and the green circle is the orbit of our planet Earth. Okay, so whenever this fellow enters it, or Earth's orbit crosses the tail of the comet, comet 2P NK. 2 is the second comet to be considered. P stands for it's a periodic comet. That means it comes once in a while, regularly. So NK. So it crosses the orbit of comet NK. When Earth crosses this particular thing, sometimes some part of the comet's core would have re-entered Earth's path at this particular point called the Siberia. Okay, Tunguska. So naturally, that should have been the reason. That's how scientists could correlate. Okay, they speculated this to be the reason, and it was comet NK which may be the reason for this particular event which happened. So once again, suppose the real comet or something else also re-enters and it destroys humanity or all the living organisms, living beings which are there in the planet Earth. So naturally, scientists got awake and they tried to celebrate this. They declared this day as the Asteroid Day. This is the 30th June is observed as World Asteroid Day or International Asteroid Day or Asteroid Day. It's common for all of us. Okay, that's how this particular thing started. And it was actually proposed by none other than Professor Stephen Hawking, who used to call for us, and many famous people, including Richard Dawkins. I should have mentioned his name here. And another B612 Foundation, President Danica Remy, an astrophysicist Brian May, Apollo 9 astronaut Rusty Swakat, and many people. Okay, they all proposed this, and they started celebrating World Asteroid Day from 2015 onwards. Subsequently, it was authorized by the United Nations also. And I leave this B612. Why I have put 3 images here. One is the Little Prince cover page of a novel called, written by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Exupéry is short. Okay, Exupéry is a small novel, The Little Prince, and this Little Prince lives in an asteroid called B612. There is a monument put for him in this. If the school kids, if you are interested in reading, I will be introducing some books in there and then and there. Okay, probably if you are really interested, go and read these books. You will get more knowledge. So this novel contains this particular thing. So that's so to save Earth, they created a foundation called B612 Foundation. So naturally, the President Danica Remy also was one among the co-founders, and that's how the World Asteroid Day took place with the 3 goals. Basically, employ available technology to detect and track near Earth asteroids, those that are very close to the planet Earth and which threaten the human population, and rapid 100-fold acceleration of the discovery and tracking of near Earth asteroids to 1 lakh per year within next 10 years. That's so that much we want to identify and do the needful. Whatever is required for protecting us, we need to do. Once again, global adoption of Asteroid Day, heightening awareness of asteroid hazard and our efforts to prevent impacts on June 30. Okay, naturally, these are 4 prominent asteroids that could strike Earth. Okay, we initially, maybe a few years back, the one which was popular was the Apophis in the year 2068. Okay, whenever year 2000 in the 90s, no, 1990s, when I was I didn't know that around 2000, no, people told Earth will be doomed. So natural doomsday is on 1st January 2000. Then they fixed the fancy year is 2020. They told 2020 Earth will be lost. Some Nostradamus predictions, all things they will be telling, but nothing happened, right? So once again, these are some probable asteroids. Asteroid Bennu, Joe 25, then AG5, like this. Some asteroids are named and some don't have proper names. So these three goals, the World Asteroid Day is being celebrated worldwide, and we are also doing it. We'll just learn what are asteroids. Okay, asteroids are literally before entering into what asteroid is, I will give a small problem. Okay, problem. If you have paper and pen, you can take. Write these numbers: 0, 3, 6. You can see after 6, no, they are getting doubled. 6, 12, 12 to 24, 48, 96, 192, 384. Okay. So once you write this, no, just add 4 to all these numbers. You get this number: 4, 7, 10, 16, 28, 52, 100, 196, 388. Okay. So then subsequently you divide them by 10. You get these numbers: 0.4, 0.7, 1, 1.6, 2.8, 5.2, 10, 19.6, 38.8. These numbers you are getting. Now you can correlate solar system. Our Earth is at the point 1.0. That means, you know, the distance between Sun and Earth is called 1 astronomical unit. So all these numbers correspond to astronomical units. So 0.4 astronomical unit, you have the planet Mercury. 0.7 you have Venus. 1 is Earth. Subsequently Mars. 2.8 nothing is there. 5.2 you have Jupiter. So you can see now. Yeah, these are the actual. This particular law is known as the Titius-Bode law. It was founded independently by these two astronomers. So they gave this formula, shortened form. 0.4. You added 4, no? 4 by 10. This is for 3 by 10 into 2 to the power n. They told. So this is how they framed the law. At 0.4, you have at 0.39 astronomical units. We have planet Mercury. At Venus was at 0.72. Earth is exactly at 0.1. Mars is at 1.52. Then the next number is 2.8. There nothing was there. Jupiter is at 5.2. Saturn is at 9.4. Instead of 10, it was at 9.4. Uranus was at 19.2. Neptune is at 30.06 instead of 38.8. It is at 30. But Pluto 77.2 is only 39.44. Subsequently, the planet Pluto is demotivated from its planet status, and it was assumed present days it's called only a dwarf planet. You all know. In 2004, it was depromoted to a dwarf planet. Okay. Now we will come to history, little bit of history. So scientists were astonished at this particular law, and they didn't bother about asteroid belt. At least in the 18th century, people immediately started looking after Uranus. Okay, based on this formula alone, Uranus was discovered by, predicted by the Sir William Herschel in 1781 itself. It was identified. Okay, so what they did now, a church father by name Baron Franz Xaver von Zach, he called the group of some astronomers to search the missing planet, predicted at about 2.8 astronomical unit. There should be a planet at this location. You have to identify it. So they were trying, but they couldn't find it out. But one another astronomer at a different place, he identified in the year 1801. His name is Joseph Piazzi. Maybe Joseph. That the spelling maybe in their language it's written like this. Joseph Piazzi. He discovers the first and the largest asteroid, Ceres. Ceres is going to, we will be discussing about Ceres till the end. That is the biggest asteroid. He identified it between Mars and Jupiter. It fall exactly on the slot. But immediately what happened? No? People started finding out more small object exactly at that location. Okay, so they could not identify what is happening. So it literally what it is means. A lot of small objects are going around the planet, our star sun at this location. What really should have been happened is there should have been a big planet which should have formed at that location. The powerful gravity of Jupiter prevented it from forming. That is the real thing. Okay. Not only that, Jupiter is not allowing certain places in that asteroid belt for these asteroids to survive. It will be either thrown out or pulled in. That way it happens. Okay, these asteroids, no, I already told you, the first asteroid, one Ceres, was found in 1801 by Joseph, and these asteroids are made up of rocky material and other elements. Contains many. Some contain carbon, some contain silica, some are rich in iron and nickel. Or there is one asteroid which people say that it's made of gold. Okay, the name is Psyche. We'll be looking at it later. And the current known as, okay, by 2020 they identified around 9,98,000. Now it has crossed even 11 lakhs. Okay, so the asteroid belt, literally asteroids where and all they are available. Some are called the main asteroid belt I have shown here. Some are called the Trojans. There is a story called Greek mythology, Trojans, and there was a war between Trojans and Greek. And these are called Trojan asteroids. One is called other one is called Greek as Trojans. This is Trojan asteroids. They go 60 degree. This angle between Jupiter, Sun, and this asteroids, or Jupiter, Sun, and the one which is trailing behind. This angle will be 60 degree, which they are called Lagrangian points 4 and 5. Okay, maybe you will learn about it more later. So the asteroids, they can be here, or there are asteroids which can come near there. They are called Earth crossing asteroids or near Earth asteroids. So we are bothered more about the near Earth asteroids. Why? Because they can cause havoc among us. So not only this asteroid belts, there are few places where beyond the orbit of Neptune also, where they are called trans-Neptunian objects. On the place is called Kuiper belt. The inner one is called main asteroid belt. The outer belt is known as the Kuiper belt, named after its discoverer Gerard P. Kuiper. Okay, so I was telling earlier that the planet Jupiter will not allow certain asteroids at certain places. If you count the number of asteroids in their orbital period they are showing, you can see these 1 by 4 at this location. Jupiter will not allow certain asteroids to stay in this orbit corresponding to this point, or 1 by 3, or 2 by 5, or 3 by 7. These are all called orbital resonances. And these gaps are first found out by a scientist, astronomer by name Kirkwood. So they are called Kirkwood gaps. Okay, probably if you want, you can take these points as the keywords for your search and knowing more. Okay, this is literally the same physics as the rings of Saturn. Saturn actually, if you see, that rings correspond to some moon which should have formed at that particular orbital location, which could not form because of the gravitational perturbations of outer planets or even the Saturn's own gravity. This is similar thing only which is happening in main asteroid belt. I was telling, this is the comet Psyche, which contains gold. Okay, there are 3 types of asteroids, and one is the C for carbonaceous. They are all very dark in color, and 75% of the known asteroids are C-type asteroids only. And there are S-type asteroids which are called stony, silicaceous. Silica, so silicon dioxide is something like our sand, or something which resembles more like our normal soil. There are S-types of asteroids. 17% are mostly of S-type, and the rest are mostly metallic asteroids. And the number of types, I'm telling only the 3 types, C, S, and X. If you browse the net, you can have a number, the A to Z you will be getting. Because the number, our technology growth, we are going into finer details, and naturally there are more types of asteroids identified in the 21st century or 20th century onwards. Okay, the technology started exploding in 20th century only. So there onwards, we are finding more types of asteroids. Our classification is becoming finer and finer. So once again, what are the size of the asteroids? Asteroids, they vary in size from 1,000 kilometer to about a small pebble size. Probably here I have compared 2 asteroids with our moon. Our favorite moon is there on the right side, and the other 2 are Ceres and Vesta. And the next classification, there I have compared up to Vesta. Here you go for the rest of the thing. Vesta is this big, and Lutetia, and Matilde, Ida, Dactyl. This Ida and Dactyl I will be showing once again also. Why? Because this particular asteroid Ida has got a moon which goes around it. Okay, it's typically a binary asteroid, you can call otherwise. And you have this many, and these are the years where they found it. Literally, if you see, After Vesta 4 Vesta 1807, there was a big gap in the identification of asteroid. They could not see anything. But subsequently, when the telescope technology improved, they started discovering more. And now there are computerized searches to find out new and newer asteroids. Okay. I told you about Ida and Dactyl. It's this, and this is the current known asteroids count is, I was telling, around 11 lakhs. It's going on. This is the latest thing. I searched yesterday for you people. So I was telling, Ceres was discovered by Giuseppe Piesi. Originally, he thought this to be a comet only because it may contain object may contain large amounts of pure water and ice beneath its surface. Okay. Recent times they identified this, and I want to introduce this particular astrophysicist. Okay, his name is Richard P. Binzel. Whenever when Surendra asked me, immediately mind thought of Richard P. Binzel. I read his article in this particular book, Our Worlds by Alan Stern. Alan Stern is the principal investigator of the NASA's New Horizons mission. This particular chapter on Professor Binzel's essay starts with Rick Binzel. Okay, still I remember that particular word. I read this book maybe 10-15 years back. Then even now I could recollect the way he took it, and he was inventor of the Torino scale. There is a scale like our Richter scale to measure our earthquake. There is a Torino scale to categorize the impact hazard associated with the asteroid impact. Okay, so he was honored by naming the asteroid 2873 after him, Professor Binzel. Possible you can read this, and he is the co-investigator of the NASA's OSIRIS-REx asteroid sample return mission that's being planned. It will be arriving next year. Okay, and then this is the Torino scale. No hazard means zero, and certain collision will happen, and certainly it will wash out some of the mankind, or it can cause damage. He is given a number, Torino scale of 10. Here itself you can see Binzel's name is there. Okay, to better describe that, how this is how he framed this Torino scale. It's a very interesting thing to read in detail. I'm not getting into the detail. I'm just only telling. You can see certain collision is given 8, 9, 10. Threatening is 5, 6, 7. Meriting attention by astronomers 2, 3, 4. Normal is 1. Okay, so these are some of the space probes which tried to sample return, or which tries to study asteroids. Dawn reached Ceres, and Lucy. This is Psyche to Psyche. Okay, I told that's why I kept one in caps and the other one is small. Psyche is the name of the spacecraft also. It's going to the asteroid Psyche. And then Osiris gets to Bennu. I told this mission is already launched in September 2016, and it has already collected the sample from Bennu, and it will be coming with the sample reaching Earth in next year, 2023. Probably young students can track this particular mission. Very interesting to learn about this. And then double asteroid radar, it's called a DART. Abbreviation is DART. What it is, a Didymos. The name is called Didymos. I think it is there. Dimorphos and Didymos, and it is going to impact on the moon of the Didymos. Are they binary asteroid? They go around one around the other. Not exactly one is going around the other. They orbit a common point called barycenter, and when the DART goes and hits Dimorphos, its orbit will be changed, and once again that will be captured by the Lucia Cube satellite, and it will be transmitting the data back to Earth. That's how studies are being taken to save humanity. I was telling about Ceres. Why I linked asteroids, comets, and meteors is this. Ceres literally blurs the line between comets and asteroids. This is taken from the Earth sky site courtesy. And so naturally, on 22nd January, ESA scientists report water vapor jets coming from Ceres, and this is based on the far infrared observations of Herschel Space Observatory, which is there in one of the Lagrangian points. So I already told you the Pluto is depromoted as a dwarf planet, and these are the dwarf planets. Ceres already you know, Pluto, Haumea, Aries, and Makemake. Okay, these are the 5 recognized dwarf planets in the system. Probably students, please learn more about it. And with this, we enter into comets. Okay, comets, you all know, they are beautiful dust balls. dirt balls, rather dirty snowballs. So certainly they come and they vanish, they go around the sun, and some they get they fall into the sun, not out of love, but because of its powerful gravity. Once again, the ancient times, no, whenever comet appears in the sky, it was not. It was thought that it is inauspicious for the kings or the leaders. So naturally, they employed astrologers mainly for these purposes. Then the arrival of a comet, when the eclipse is going to happen, all these things and all were done in the ancient times. But now with the science, we learn what it is. Literally, they are dirty snowballs. When it is close to the sun, they exhibit a coma and a tail. Once again, the tail is because the comet is heated up by the solar wind, and the solar wind causes the tail to extend for millions of kilometers. Once always the tail will be away from the sun. These are all some of the findings. The size of the comet, typical comet, will be between 1 and 20 kilometers across. And once again, all comets are not periodic comets, meaning that they will be coming back and back. No, some will come and visit, they will never return forever. And where are they coming from? This was literally surprising our scientists or astronomers. Okay, and this is some of the historical highlights. Halley's when and all the comets observed and how it was, and this is how things happened in the earlier times. See the way they have drawn a typical comet. Something it's burning and it's giving out walls and all. And this is the famous comet of 1577, meaning that its tail is so long, spreading across the sky. It was like that. When I saw a comet Hyakutake sometime in the late 90s, it almost half of the sky. It was its tail was long. Sometimes the number of tails will be 2 or even 3. Okay. Once again, where are these comets coming from? There are two possibilities. One is from the Kuiper belts, and the other one is a hypothetical Oort cloud. Okay. A scientist by name Jane Oort, no, he proposed there is one Oort cloud outside, maybe some few thousand astronomical units. From there, because of the perturbations of some other stars, or due to some other thing, presence of some other planet or some celestial object, they are kicked into the solar system. They come here, and some are absorbed by the outer planet. They impact with our outer planets if they come their way, or they reach sun. They take a loop around the sun and they are around. This is one particular thing where a comet which is coming from outer planet, it hinders the planet. Once again, this is called gravitational catapult, you can say. Okay, and this type of events happen, and then it starts going around the sun. Otherwise, it would have gone in the dotted line out to the external solar system. This is so comets enter into this. I was telling about the Kuiper belt. This is how Kuiper belt is populated with a number of small boulders or rocks called they're not normally called as asteroids. They can say as trans-Neptunian objects or Kuiper belt objects, KBO. Okay, I was telling about Kuiper belt. It holds approximately 100 million objects. Once again, when they are disturbed, they get a different orbit and try coming into the inner solar system. Otherwise, they'll be always there only. And Oort cloud, I already was telling about it. It may contain billions of comets. Sometimes they come here, or sometimes they'll go round and round and round within the Oort cloud. And this is how. So whenever I already told about typical comets path. So now literally it will be, you can see that at its apogee portion, it's simply no gas is there, only nucleus alone is coming. So when it comes to closer to planet, our star sun, it starts getting a coma, or because the ice gets heated up and it's expanding, and it will become visible. And once again, when it comes close to the sun, this dust tail, or sometimes ion tail also is formed because of the interaction with the solar wind, and the coma and tail disappear as it gets away from the sun. So this is how typically a periodic comet's life. Okay, once again, a comet Ison, which came few years back. So they not always in the same plane. Sometimes they came from out of plane and go under the ecliptic plane. The plane of where all these planets go around the sun is called the ecliptic plane. Sometimes it will be in the same plane of the ecliptic, or it can come from up and go down, or sometimes come from bottom and go up. This so its orbit varies in different directions. So typically, what are the fate of a comet? I already told you. Either they sometimes they plunge into the sun, the surface turns clogged and the rocky body with no ice. Completely the water ice or dry ice, whichever is there, it sublimates so totally. So naturally, it will become a rock, and then it goes back to the Oort cloud as a simple rock. Or sometimes it breaks up due to the gravity of our giant planets, or with the gravity of our sun, and sometimes they are broken into pieces by the gravity of the sun, and they collide with some asteroids or some other planet. In fact, literally 1994, few of you may not have born. I have seen this on TV. It was very famous then. Some one comet by name Shoemaker Levy, it broke into 24 pieces, and they collided, or they plunged into the planet Jupiter. It was covered beautifully by the Hubble Space Telescope. The comet was originally discovered the previous year only by Caroline and Eugene Shoemaker and David Levy. They are all famous astronomers. David Levy's articles on Sky and Telescope magazine are very famous. Naturally, if you have access to Sky and Telescope in your nearby library, don't forget to refer to it. So then we come to meteors and meteoroids and meteorites. There are three different terms. What are they? So literally, I do not know how many of you have seen a typical meteor shower. So there are the events called the meteor showers, because hundreds of meteors will be coming in the same night. You can see. I have seen 2-3 real meteor shower, especially one in the year 1999. I cannot forget, because ISRO launched one sounding rocket to study the atmosphere due to the effect of meteors. It was called 1999 Leonid meteor shower. Their impact on the mesospheric region of atmosphere. You can search the net to find out the results on typical meteor showers, what happens. And literally, meteoroids are chunks of rock and ice out in space. When it is simply floating, it's called a meteoroid. Okay, when it tries to enters into atmosphere and burns completely in the atmosphere, they are called meteors or shooting star or a falling star. That's how we call it. Okay, so the meteoroids are not literally as big as an asteroid, or a meteoroid is a mini or a micro asteroid which is floating there. When it tries to enter into the Earth's atmosphere, they are called meteors. When it gets landed on planet Earth and you can find out a rock in your hand, then it is called a meteorite. This is the difference. That's all. Meteorites, when it enters the atmosphere, it's called meteor. After it falls on the ground as a solid piece, it's called a meteorite. Okay, so literally they're very dangerous. Why? Because no, you're 1 million small, the size of a mustard. When it is falling at a very high velocity, it has got a real energy of a 22 caliber bullet. So such a thing. Suppose if it is a slightly smaller, the size of a grape, then its power is the destructive power is that of the cannon shells, because they travel so fast. So naturally, they have a lot of energy. Recently, you might have seen heard about the small micrometeoroid impact on the James Webb Space Telescope, which is at L2 point, the Lagrangian point L2, to observe the how the dark edges of the universe. Okay, they travel so fast and they cause a lot of damage. So there are three types of meteorites like our asteroids. One is the stony rocky materials. The second one is a metallic or made of iron or nickel, and there are some which contains both. Metallic bodies embedded in a stone. So such type of stony, metallic, rocky meteorites also are found on planet Earth. They have reached planet Earth. Okay, so suppose when a meteoroid enters into the atmosphere, why you are seeing a trail of light? So literally, when it is entering into the atmosphere, because of the friction offered by the dense air onto the body, it tries to burn. This burning is called the ablation. Only the surface of the rocky body starts burning up slowly, and in the process of burning, because it's coming with very high velocity, so naturally they start burning, and this burning causes this type of trail of light. Continuously it burns while falling. Recently, yesterday or day before yesterday, near Rajasthan, they have found. Yesterday, I got a forward the video from some friend. Can you identify what it is? It should be a debris of some space debris or some meteor shower. Okay, meteorite. So once again, what are the sources of meteorites? Suppose if two asteroids they clash, so naturally they produce finer particles, and the direction they'll be scattered all around the places. Some can try to come in the direction of our planet Earth, and when it tries to enter into the planet Earth, it can be uh, meteoroids or meteor shower. The bottom figure I have shown one thing. The one is the orbit of Earth, what I have shown like earlier, and the second is orbit of the comet Halley. So which causes eta Aquarids at two locations. You can see when it crosses planet Earth's orbit. Sometimes at one point it may cross. Second thing may not be coming across the planet Earth. This one you can see Perseid meteor shower, which is made of swift turtle. So there was one comet by name Swift Turtle. Its path is in this particular location. So its tail is still going on, or the dust particle left by this comet Swift Turtle will be in this particular region. When it comes to that particular location in the month of August, naturally you get the Perseid meteor shower around 12, 13, 14 of the month of August. Okay, this so we get a meteor shower. They are there almost in every month. You can see a lot of meteor showers are there. Quadrant it's on December to January. Lyrids, Aquarids. The very popular things I have put like this color, where the number there the ZHR means zenithal hourly rate. So meteors per hour, it can reach up to 120 per hour. Okay. I was telling about Leonid meteor shower during December.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Sir, can we see asteroid belt from refractor telescope?
No. You just can't, because these asteroids are very, very small bodies. So naturally, even with the naked eye, it's very difficult to identify asteroid there. Okay. Once again, this is the scientifically created, technically created thing, because so many objects at that particular location, when they measure, naturally they identified it to be asteroid belt. You cannot see the asteroid belt by naked eye or even through a telescope. You can see number of small asteroids, but very difficult to identify. Continuously, you have to watch, you photograph a particular region of the sky daily, then you can identify whether an asteroid is going or not. There are internet sites which ask you to find. They provide you photographs of successive plates. They will be giving you based on the position of the individual star-like points observed in that. You can identify that it is an asteroid. That's how it can be identified. Okay.
And so, what is different between asteroid belt and Kuiper belt?
Asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. Kuiper belt is beyond the planet Neptune.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So we will take questions at the end. Once sir finished, we will take the questions.
I'll be completing. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are some of the meteor showers. I already told you. Perseid's meteor shower. This peaks around August 13. You can have 100 asteroids. Geminids also is very famous. And Leonid meteor shower. This normal year it is 5. In the year 1999, the peak thing was around 100, more than 100. That's why we selected the Leonid meteor shower experiment then. I was telling about you the same thing only. So this Leonid meteor shower, actually it was very famous also. This one image, which shows, you can literally show how a shower will be. You can see something like rain. It rained some particular year when even 3,000 per hour at peak it has done. So annually, this Leonid meteor shower alone may deposit 12 to 13 tons of particles across the entire planet of Earth. Okay. Then one more recent episode of asteroid impact was the Chelyabinsk asteroid. This, if you type Chelyabinsk meteor, you can see the videos. These two are just a clip from that video only. You can have it. This caused more than 1,500 injuries, damaged 7,000 buildings. Okay, approximately this happened almost. We have seen live on TV also. Then. Okay, so There are some impact features on Earth. One is the famous Barringer crater in Arizona. The crater is 1.2 kilometer across, a huge pit type of thing. It's estimated to have occurred 50,000 years ago. And in India also, there is one Lonar Lake crater in Maharashtra. This crater is 1.8 kilometer across, but now it is filled with water. The people call this Lonar Lake. Sometimes they may, when you go and ask, they may not know what a crater is, but this is a crater in Maharashtra. Okay, those who are from nearby places, we can visit to Lonar Lake crater. Okay, and teach their friends about the Lonar Lake crater. And is this impact features only on planet Earth? Literally no. Mercury, you have craters. Venus, you have craters. Moon is full of craters, and other Mars, of course, has craters. Other these Callisto and Mimas are moons of other planets. And there is one crater which is in honor of our father of Indian space science, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai. It's on the farther side of the moon. We cannot see it, but it is that we can identify through moon maps. Okay, and why should we study these objects? That is the main important. Okay, one is they are the most pristine objects. That means right from the day of formation, they are not changed. They are same. They are not disturbed by human beings or any other animals or through any tectonic activity. They are all very, very pristine, and they are preserving our history of the solar system formation. So naturally, if you want to study about how our solar system was formed, we need to study about them. This is the science part of it. So literally, they tell us, teaches about how the solar system would have been formed. The second thing is our engineering. We have our beautiful International Space Station, which is going around the planet Earth, and sometimes you can see from your place. And naturally, they have to be designed to withstand this type of meteoroid impacts. And I'll suggest you one movie. You might have seen the movie Gravity. Gravity literally gives how the heroine escapes out of a typical space debris impacting her vessel, and how she reaches back home. Okay. Then once again, data about this type of shower, literally we can collect from that. And planetary protection, this is the most important part of it. And we need to save our human population, for which we need to know how any other asteroids are going to impact us or not. That we can identify through this. Okay. I already told about the planetary protection. Already we studied about the extinction of dinosaurs, which might have happened at a place called almost throughout the world. This type of asteroid impacts would have destroyed the dinosaurs all around. But one particular crater they call as Chicxulub crater in the Mexican region of North America. That's famous for this particular extinction of dinosaurs. So naturally, to save mankind, we require to save ourselves from asteroids. Okay, naturally, I was telling about the B612 Foundation. This particular director of this movie, 51 Degree North, he was one among them. You can see that's an interesting movie. And the other hit movie was Armageddon. Literally, they'll be particular research scientists. They'll be choosing a few prisoners to go to who are ready to sacrifice their life to save the planet Earth. They'll be sending them to an asteroid. They'll be attaching a nuclear bomb onto the thing, and they'll be deviating the path of the asteroid into a different orbit. So that's how they'll be saving planet Earth. It's a beautiful movie. Probably you can see 3 movies I have already introduced. 3 movies and 3 books, I think. 51 Degree North, Gravity, and Armageddon, probably. And with this, I close. The closing message is, scientists should try to find the asteroids before they find us and come to visit. And wish you all happy World Asteroid Day. And I wish the organization Chiguru Labs to have a fine week of celebrations and taking science to the masses with different speakers on different topics related to saving planet Earth. Thank you for the opportunity. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Sir?
Yeah?
So why we celebrated Asteroid Day?
Why we celebrate that's what I have been speaking so far. Haven't you understood?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much. It was really wonderful talk. Now the floor is open for questions. Yes, you can throw your meaningful questions. Yeah, students, you can ask your questions. Students, general public, yeah, friends.
Are there any asteroids which is going to affect us in the near future, sir?
Already I told, few asteroids are there which may come. Almost every now and then you will be hearing from newspaper. One asteroid whizzed past the Earth at maybe 1 lakh kilometer or just beyond the moon and all we have seen. No? You need to see read the newspaper also. This type of news they come once in a while.
Definitely, we shall do that, sir.
Yeah, all the best. There is any technology right now to save Earth? Already that particular DART mission I was showing, no, when one satellite is going to hit one of the binary asteroids to change its orbit. So naturally, when there is a question, there is any technology right now to save Earth from such impact. Okay, so naturally we are trying out the technology. It's called a DART technology. DART, you know, just put an arrow at something to deviate its path. Okay. Can you please tell the book names are Cosmos by Carl Sagan, Other Worlds by Alan Stern. Okay, you can read more books are there. You can search the net. Books by Carl Sagan, John Gribbin. Many others write books on popular astronomy. You can take one of them. Yes.
One general question, sir. What motivated you to become a scientist?
What motivated science?
I'm actually specifically asking this so that I can actually let my students know who are in 10th and 12th. Maybe I'll get some of the other message from you which I could pass on.
Once again, now whichever way you tell them to follow their passion, that is the main thing. Okay, then advise students to take up biology in your +2. Yes, most students they avoid biology. Biology is very, very important for our life. So naturally, computer you can learn at any age. Because I have not seen a computer till my the last year of my engineering. Okay, so now we all have learned the computer and all to a comfortable level. So naturally, tell your students to take biology also. Okay, biology also is very important, interesting, and in fact, biology helps us in a lot of ways to solve our real life problems also. Okay, even engineering problems also. There is a study called biomimetics. Okay.
Thank you, sir. That's a very valuable point which I could pass on.
Yes, thank you.
I have messaged my command in the comment section.
What are the chances of rogue planets coming inside our solar system? Solar system, rogue planets, if they are coming, means there is every chance, but we will be identifying it because 24/7 our telescopes are looking at sky. Some in the radio, in different frequencies, we are looking at it. So naturally, we will identify that and try to use the DART technology. That is the thing. Let us hope the best. We won't get come across rogue planets. Dark matter really exists. Dark matter, it's even though it is hypothesized on some images called the bullet cluster. No, they say that it is dark matter. We are yet to find out whether dark matter is there or not. Okay, we require more, and a lot of people, a lot of astrophysicists, astronomers are working on dark matter. Is any life signature detected on any asteroids? There may be some things because the one ALH 84,001 one meteorite, people say it's from Mars. So naturally, I have seen, read somewhere something which looks like some worm or some microorganism. We do not know. We are yet to identify it and confirm it. Chances of rogue planets already answered. Book name I told. Dark matter really exists. No, I told. Yes, I told. Any life signature detector on any asteroids. And any more questions?
Sir, can we really extract minerals from asteroids, sir?
Yeah, the one reason for which we are doing research on astronomy is asteroids is extracting minerals also. But okay, once again, I don't know, but it will be a costly affair. Now, question in Hindi, somebody can translate.
If doing so, we can extract from some valuable and unknown materials or elements to
But once again, you have to do what is called a cost benefit analysis. The amount of money we spend on something to get something, whether is it really worth, that is also to be identified. No, the cost benefit analysis also will be done. Once again, based on that only, countries or even corporations will try to do it. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, a few days before China received an extraterrestrial signal from space, what is your opinion on that? Okay, there was one famous paradox called Fermi's paradox. People are telling there is one equation called Drake's equation, which gives a number of intelligent beings that is possible to be there in this universe, and he has given some number. And based on the number, if that is there, Fermi simply asked, in that case, where is everybody? He is asking that unless we get a authentic evidence, we cannot believe it. And once again, they are telling it, let us study it. Only it has come out. No? Once again, scientists will interrogate, or scientists will pose more questions and get answers, and then we get the answers. Okay. In that case, no, there is a one more saying by famous Professor Carl Sagan: extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidences, and that should be the main question for you students. Why? Because nowadays a lot of fake messages are coming, and naturally you should ask this particular question: extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidences. So that is the way you have to do the science. Okay, do aliens exist? Yeah, I am answering that same question only. If they are there, where are everybody? The one simple thing is the nearest star to us is 4.26 light years away, which is called the Proxima Centauri. Assume there is a planet where intelligent beings are living there. Okay, even if they are traveling at that particular thing, they require at the speed of light, they require 4.26 years to reach planet Earth. Okay, and there is no way we can fly at light speed. Once again, the other Einstein's relativity problems also will be coming into picture. Naturally, we do not aliens exist. Hope we should not encounter them, because as told by our famous professor talking, it's a dangerous affair to get in contact with them. We do not know how they behave with us. They see us. Okay, let us live with love and affection. Yes. Sir, maybe get your contact WhatsApp or email to get knowledge only. Okay, Surender can give my mail ID. You can get, or Surender, you can have one popular question answer session type of thing in your website, so that people can put their questions there. Answers will be given by a lot of people like us, not me alone. You can now post the questions to me separately and get it, because I will be always busy. Luckily, Surender got my today's evening. Okay.
Really, thank you very much, sir. Yes, we have one more website, Ask an Astronomer, that will be in progress building. So we are collecting questions and building some answers, where there will be portal. Whoever having some doubts, they can post your questions. They can receive the answer.
Anjan Panik, if you want all your questions, you can directly Google also. You can get it. And there is one more Ask an Astronomer site by one famous astronomer, Sten Wodenwald. And all his questions and answers are compiled into 2 books: Astronomy Cafe, 365 questions on astronomy, and Back to Astronomy Cafe. These 2 are very famous books, and you can, in your nearby library, you can take this. And other things you can always get. Now knowledge is there in the air. Only thing you need to put your questions and get the right answers. That's all, because there are a lot of fake answers also available. So naturally, be cautious in choosing the right answer. That is the only thing. Okay. Yes. All the best, Anjan.
Thank you for your valuable time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, it was a really wonderful time with you, sir. So from our organization, we really want to thank you for your amazing time with us and with our students. So thank you very much once again. Yeah, so it's I think if there is no more question, maybe we can wait for another 30-40 seconds. If there
Telescope.
Yeah, not reflectors telescope. Tomorrow morning you get up by 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Look at the sky. You can see planet Mercury in the close to the horizon. The bright morning star Venus. Above that you can see Jupiter. You can see Mars. You can see Saturn at your above your head. These 5 planets you can see with your naked eye tomorrow morning.
So,
And today morning, it happens to be a grand celestial alignment which included moon also. Even tomorrow also, moon will be part of the straight line. You can see the straight line of all planets early in the morning. I request all participants to look at the sky tomorrow morning. 5 o'clock is fine. In the east, you have to look at.
so which planet can we see in evening sky?
Evening
Can we see
you cannot see
planet?
anything.
No any planet.
No planet is visible in the evenings now this month. Probably after a few months you can see something.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So where do you actually see the space research in around about 10 years from now?
10 years from now, so whichever way you think or imagine, no, we cannot say literally. 10 years earlier, would you have identified this type of technologies in place? We do not know. Sometimes you may have virtual reality in your house. Sometimes you may have wearable glasses are already there, but they are not popular. So naturally, space. Sometimes all our satellites, no, we'll be able to bring them back to avoid space debris. Then bigger satellites may not be there. We will be living with small satellites. India will be having its own space station. Then we'll be having our own Yamanauts. We hope for the best. Be positive. Okay.
Definitely, sir. The reason
Few
I
of the
asked is
participants
because
in this group may be astronauts. Who knows?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
Yeah.
reason I asked is because around about 5 years ago, we heard that there was a plan that colonization of Mars can actually happen around about 2036. There was some project going on. There was some plan. There was a plan which was portrayed. So we just want to know that is there anything that can actually happen? Is the plan because of the technology advancement of technologies? Is that actually happening? And can artificial intelligence play any role in this particular phase?
Artificial intelligence is already playing. You talk about something with your friend sometime, no? Maybe within 1 or 2 days, that same thing, same type of message will come into your push notification into your
Exactly,
phone.
sir. Exactly, sir. Yes,
It
exactly.
happens already. Already, all big corporations are using artificial intelligence. Okay, so naturally, it is already there with us. And Anjan Manik has invited me to visit Tripura. Definitely, I love Northeast. Already, I have come to a few places. Naturally, whenever I get time, I want to have a break. I'll make a visit to Tripura. It's a lovely place. Tripura, Nagaland, and all. Definitely, I'll come. How can we capture space waste, sir? And there are a lot of techniques being uh, adopted or being experimented to capture space waste. It's called space debris. Spelling is DEBRIS and S is silent. You have to pronounce debris only. So space waste, there are a lot of technologies. Some is called electrodynamic tether, and some they are trying to have a cage type of thing, go near it to catch it, and then bring it back like that. It's there. It's possible. Or sometimes these satellites will be programmed to go to what is called a graveyard orbit. They go beyond all other orbits and they go to a higher level where the functional satellites are not there. It's called a graveyard orbits. And there is a satellite graveyard also in the Atlantic Ocean. So, like our Mir space station, it was pushed into that particular place between Australia and South America. So similar thing also can be done for other things to avoiding space waste. Okay, younger generation, you also think, give a wild thinking. Once again, I request you all you guys to read literature, English literature or literature in your own mother tongue, because people from different places are here. I advise you to read books. Okay, don't get your life lost in mobile smartphones. Okay, probably your parents will be telling the same, but I also advise you the same. Read, that gives a lot of inputs. It will develop empathy in you. Literally studying astronomy will make you feel simple and humble. Literally, we are literally made of star stuff. We are all made out of dead stars. Some elements are synthesized only in the explosion of stars called supernova, especially elements with higher atomic weights like gold, iron, and all. They are all synthesized only in stars. And we are all made out of star stuff. So naturally, let us be humble, simple, love our humanity, and thank you for the opportunity to Surinder and all of you. Thank you.
But it is in Hindi because my English very poor. That's why. Can someone translate it in Hindi to English to everyone?
Yeah, I can do that. If you could just repeat your question, I'll definitely do that. मैं बात कर सकता हूँ, आप सिर्फ बता दीजिए एक बार.
थैंक यू. कल मुझे एक नासा के माध्यम से इन्विटेशन आया था, तो उसमें मुझे जाने का सौभाग्य मिला था. उन्होंने बताया था कि इस साल के सितंबर के आसपास एक मिशन लॉन्च होने वाला है, वो पंचम करके जो एस्ट्रॉइड है उस पे, और 2036 के आसपास तक वो उसका मिशन चलेगा. इस तरह से मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन मिली थी, तो वही बताना चाहता था. तो और उसमें बताया गया था कि वो एस्ट्रॉइड के ऊपर जाके जो खनिज तत्व है वो उसको निकाल के वो सब कुछ करने की कोशिश करने वाले हैं, उसके बारे में जानकारी देने वाले हैं. तो वही बताना चाहता था बस. सॉरी
ठीक है, आपका वॉइस उतना लाइन इतना क्लियर नहीं था, बट फिर भी मैं एक बार बता देता हूँ उनको वो सर से.
थैंक यू.
So he is actually referring to a particular, a launch about to happen sometime in, I think, to 2035 from NASA. Is that getting recorded? Hello?
Can you repeat?
Sir, he is actually referring to a particular satellite from NASA. I think he has read it from somewhere. In about 2035, it is about
2035 नहीं 2036 तक वो मिशन चलेगा.
2036.
Yeah.
एस्ट्रॉइड मिशन जैसे हायाबुसा भेजा गया था उस तरह से वो मिशन भेजा जाएगा इस साल और 2036 तक वो चलेगा. इस तरह से मुझे जानकारी मिली थी नासा की वेबसाइट से.
Is something which is already launched, sir, but it will actually work from 2036. Is there anything like that, sir?
Sir, I think
Satellite like that?
maybe he's asking about the Lucy mission. The Lucy mission will yeah, so maybe I can give quick comments. So the Lucy mission targeted to the Jupiter Trojans. As Rajasekar sir told, Jupiter mission is the Trojans are orbited along with Jupiter in Jupiter's orbit itself. There are few asteroids orbiting along with Jupiter. So this Lucy mission may be targeted towards the Jupiter Trojans, and there is one more mission called Physics mission, which is targeted to another specific asteroid. Yes. Yeah. Sir, ready.
Sir, I posted the link of the all of the information is upcoming asteroid mission. Please check the chat. Please check the chat box of the meet.
Yeah, there is a mission called Physics mission also there. So they are planning to send it. Yet it's not launched.
Sir, your video audio is muted, I guess. Surendra, sir's audio is muted.
Sir, Rajasekar sir, your audio is muted.
Yes, my audio was muted. Okay. This is a Lucy mission. Actually, I was about, I didn't add, because of paucity of time, I didn't add the further details. It will be shuttling between the two sets of Trojan asteroids, one leading Jupiter and one trailing Jupiter. It will be taking a curve like an 8. It will be going here and there and all. It was planned to be like that only. This is the mission. It's called Lucy. Okay.
There's no question in that. He's just sharing a link.
Sharing, are you getting my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, we have got your news. Yeah, he's sharing that. Yeah. Okay, then yes. Tushar, I guess. Tushar, yes, we will definitely discuss about it. Yes, you have shared some link. We will get to know about the particular things. Yes, Rajasekar, you want to share something?
Yeah, nothing. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Then it's a time to really thank you. Thank you very much, sir. If there is any questions, you can post it to our mail. Already, all of you have mail. Maybe otherwise, I can type here in the chat box. So you can take this mail whenever you have any questions. You can.